Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Auto AI Learners. I am Naresh Kumar and back with another interesting video. Today we have got something exciting for anyone who is building AI powered workflows in n8n, the Guardrails node. With this, you can automatically enforce safety, content and policy checks on text following through your workflows, whether it is user input or AI responses. If you have ever worried about sensitive data leakage, unwanted topics, or just want better control of your AI automation, this video is for you. So, what is Guardrails node? So, in the version 1.119, n8n recently introduced a built-in Guardrails node. This node lets you check text for violations or sanitization of text. Let's say user input contain sensitive data like credit cards information or email addresses or mobile numbers. You can sanitize the data before sending to the model. And also AI models outputs might go off topic, produce unsafe content sometimes. So with this guardrails, you can avoid those unwanted situations. And also you might want to enforce some brand policies, content scopes or compliances with your organization. Using guardrail node, you can put a checkpoint inside your workflow to enforce rules automatically. This improves your safety, reliability and trust in your automations. So let's look at the main modes or features of this node. Currently they have released two modes. One is check text for violations, another one is sanitize text. So check text for violation will be used when you want to validate text and it gives two kinds of outputs, whether it is uh, passes your violation or failed in your violation, right? Another one is sanitize text. In this you can clean a text, remove or replace secret keys and continue the workflow. And they have several number of supported guardrails. One is keywords. It means you can block specific keywords in your workflow. Let's say user uh, generally guardrails will be two kinds. One is input guardrail and one is output guardrail. Let's say user is giving an input text which is not compliance to your policy, or whether he is using any hatred content or sexual content. Using keywords, specific keywords, you can break your workflow and get back to the user saying that your your text is violating our community, so we are not able to process your request, right? So something like that you can get back to the user. And second one is jailbreak detection. See, some users try to inject your detect prompt injections. Jailbreak detection will find out is there any prompt injections are happening and you can break your workflow. So they have a PI detection, security keys detection, topical alignment, URLs, block or allow specific URLs, and custom LLM based guardrails, and as well custom regex patterns. So we will go through this, what these are in detail in n8n workflow. Now let's go into the n8n and see it in practical. So now let's open the Google Chrome and go back to your n8n canvas. Just hit enter. So this is my n8n canvas. The first thing you need to observe is which version are you using, right? So go to your profile and then click on settings. Once you click on settings, you can see your version here. Currently my version is 1.120.3. So this guardrails will be available from the version 1.119. So make sure your n8n is having version 1.119 or above, right? All right. Now let's go to our canvas, n8n canvas, and build a chart system with two guardrails, which is input guardrail and as well as output guardrail. Let's say click on first step and I'm taking one chart trigger. You can take any trigger according to your requirement, right? So once I take the chart trigger, let me open the chart. and send some message, let's say hi, so that it is easy for me to debug another nodes, right? Then click on plus and search for guardrails, Guard. Then you can see that guardrails is over here. So currently it has two types of guardrails are available. One is check text for violation and sanitize text. So let me take check text for violation first. Click on that, and then you have to pass which text to be checked, right? So in my case it is chart input. Select the chart input. Once you select the chart input, then you have n number of options to be selected. Let's say you want to block some keywords, so you can easily select this keywords option. Once you select the keywords option, it will ask you what keywords you want to block. Let's say I want to block some keywords. I'm going to enter some keywords. So these are the keywords: idiot, stupid, bastard, kill, bomb, murder. So these are the keywords I want to avoid from the user. So that's why I have added these keywords. So whenever user try to pass these kind of keywords, our guardrail will fail, and you can trigger your fail node or error node, right? So this is my first guardrail. Then I can add several guardrail in the same way. So I can add jailbreak. So jailbreak normally is what if user tries to bypass your system rules, right? Then it is called as a jailbreak detection, right? So you can give the threshold. Generally threshold should be 0 to 1. So what will do, your model will give you the output, threshold output between 0 to 1. 0 is considered as a more safe, 1 is considered as a unsafe, right? The threshold you can decide. 0.7 is the regular threshold you will give, or if you want to be little more stricter, 0.3 or 0.5 you can consider. In my case I am going to give 0.7. Now add one more guardrail. So let's say you don't want to accept any personal information from the user, either their PAN card or Aadhaar card numbers, or their mobile numbers, or their credit card numbers. Then you can simply select personal data PIA. So if you want, you can give all, or if you want, you can give some selected. So these are the selected things you don't want to accept from the user, which contains credit card, crypto information, email addresses, IP addresses, locations, phone numbers. So whatever in this you can select. Currently I am going to select all, so that I am not going to accept any personal information from my user, right? So we have added three guardrails as a input guardrail. Remember, guardrail can be added in two ways. One is input guardrail and one is output guardrail. Input guardrail means whatever the message we are getting from the user, or any message from external system, you are using guardrail to block unwanted text, right? Similarly, you can add output guardrail. Once AI generates your any responses, you are making sure that your AI is not violating any these kind of policies. You can add several. You can add regex. You can add some custom regex and see that is there any particular regex is available in the user text, so that you can block. You can also use secret keys. If you don't want to add if you don't want to accept any URLs from the user, you can select URLs as well. So right now I'm going to take only three, which are keyword guardrail and jailbreak, and as well as personal data. We have discussed in detail. If you want to block particular keywords, you have to take keywords. If you want detect whether user is trying to bypass your rules, in that case you have to take jailbreak. Generally 0.7 before 0.7 threshold will be a safer side. And then personal data. If you don't want to accept any personal data from the user, then you can add this guardrail. So now see, my input message is hi. So it is following all the guardrails whatever added here. So ultimately what it has to do, it has to pass my guardrail. Let's click on execute step, and there is some problem. Yeah. So what I need to do, I need to pass one model to check all these guardrails. So click on plus and you can add any chart input node. In my case, I'm going to add OpenAI chart input mode. Click on OpenAI. select OpenAI chart model. So you can select which model you want to use, right? So I'm keeping 4.1 mini as default model. So once you selected, then you can click on execute step. Now you can see the output. You can see this is false. It means PII is false because it doesn't have any personal information. Triggered is false. Keywords is false because it is not matching any keywords whatever I entered here. And then jailbreak is also false because I am not trying to break any rules over here. So let me show you. So this you can see that it is clearly coming into pass outcome. So if something is failed in this, you can receive it in fail, right? So let me do one thing. Let me try to put up some keywords which I added in the earlier. So I will ask a question saying that how I can murder someone. Now you can see that it is clearly having a keyword which I don't want to receive from the user, right? Just click on enter and see the model output, guardrail output. The guardrail output is fail. It means it is clearly failing our guidelines, right? So we have successfully used input guardrail. If you want any extra things, you can add extra things as well. So let me do one thing. Let me try to pass any personal information and see whether it will become whether it will pass guardrails or fail guardrails. So let me do one thing. I'll add quickly. My other number is 4343. This is just random number I am going to enter 54541234 and click on enter, and you can see that again it has failed. Why it is failed? You can see the detailed output. It is saying that in personal data you are entering your other number. That's why it is failing input guardrail, right? So once you've set your input guardrails, now you can say that in failed case you can send either take a function node and say that these are not following our community guidelines. Let me do one thing. I'll take a function node, code node, and either you can take a JavaScript or Python. Let me take a JavaScript. So what I'll do, I'll simply return one object saying that output. So you can also add condition which guardrail it is failing. It is failing either PII or because you are getting a clear output from guardrail node, you will come to know which guardrail it is failing. Now, right now I'll going to add a common message for every guardrail. So what I'll do, this message is not following our community guidelines, cannot process this message. Something like that you can give, or you can add AI agent. So AI agent will detect what kind of guardrail it is failing, then it can give the clear output message to the user, right? So once you're done, let me test same thing. My other number is this one, and hit enter. Now see the output what I'll get. So you can clearly see that output I got was this message is not following our community guidelines, cannot process this message. So we have successfully added an input guardrail, right? Now in the pass section, now this message is, since this message is safe, you can pass it to your AI agent. So in this case I am adding AI agent. Let me select one chart model to my AI agent. Now what I'll do, I will click on OpenAI chart model, and then I will assign one chart model, right? And this time what I'll do, I have to do one thing. Since I don't have any input data to my AI agent, let me do one thing. Let me trigger hi message to my chart system, and chart system will come over here. So you can see that what is the output I got. I got output in pass node and it is passing to my AI agent. So my AI agent is giving error because there is no JSON chart input. What I have to pass? I have to pass now guardrails input, or from either this message you can pass, or you can select when chart message received, then you have to select this chart input. So let me do one thing. Instead of connect chart trigger node, since my node is not connected to chart trigger node, I'll do connected guardrails node. So it is automatically taken this guardrails input. Or you can also define below, and then you can select either from chart message. You just drag drop this hi. So hi will go to your AI agent, or you can simply select connect to guardrails node. Once you select this, then click on execute step. So your AI agent is giving output as hello, how can I assist you today? So now we have successfully implemented input guardrail. It means we are controlling user behavior. Now what we can do, we can control agent behavior this time, because in some cases your AI agent can also produce harmful output, right? So in that case, if you want to stop that, what you can do, again click on plus and then add, search for guardrails, click on check text for violation. Now this time your text to check should be your agent output. Select that, drag drop over here, just a drag drop, right? Now what you want to check, you can add again. If you want to block particular keywords your AI agent is generating, you can select those keywords, add those keywords. Then also, if AI agent, let's say your AI agent is connected to any database and it is giving sensitive information like user mobile number and all, you want to be blocked that. In that case, just select personal data, and whatever the guardrail you want, you can assign those guardrails. Then click on execute step. So since I have not added any model to this, so it is giving me error. Let me do one thing. Let me quickly add one OpenAI chart model. And by default GPT 4.1 mini, I am keeping it as it is, and then click on save. Now once you added this, you need to see what output we will get. Let's say I will check hi. It is going to my guardrails. It passed my guardrails and AI agent generated some output and it went to output guardrail. Let me do one thing. Let me name it as input guardrail. Then I can name this as output guardrail. All right, right. So now my agent has given guardrails input. Hello, how can I assist you today? So in this case, what you can do, you can click on pause, because I don't want to see all this output. I want to see only particular text over here. Just click over here, take a function node or code node, click on that. I don't want anything to be here. I just want to return an object which contains output as key, right? Take output key, then assign your guardrails input. So this will get as a output to your user. In case if it fails, you can assign same thing over here, because here input guardrail fail and output guardrail fail is same, or you can customize the message and send back to the user. Just click on save. Now let's test our system. So what I'll do, I'll say hi now. Now you can see that hello, how can I assist you today? Since I am not breaking any guardrails, I got the output. Let's say I'll try to give some keywords which are we restricted. how to kill or murder someone. Now since it is clear that we are not following our guidelines, now my system has generated the output saying that this message is not following our community guidelines and cannot process this message. The same case will applicable for AI agent response also. So this is how you use input output guardrails in n8n. Alright guys, so I have taken a new workflow now. The reason is we have seen there are two modes of guardrails, right? So one mode we have used, let me show you that. If you show guardrails, you can see check text for violations we have used successfully in our charting system earlier. Now what I'm trying to show you is how to use this sanitize text node, right? So for that what I'll do, I'll quickly take a chart trigger. Once you take chart trigger, just fire some message. I fired hi, my system is received hi, right? Now click on plus and go to guardrails again and then click on sanitize text this time. So what text to be sanitized? Select your chart input. So earlier case what will happen, your guardrail will block your messages and it has to go through either pass node or fail node. But in this case what will happen, you don't get much guardrails here because sanitization, right, it is a regular process of hiding something and then sending back to your agent. So this time what I will do, I will add personal data as my guardrail and then click on execute step. So in this case you can see that there is nothing to be sanitized here because it is a plain hi message. Now what I will do, I will try to give my Aadhaar number. My Aadhaar number is 34542343, some random number I am entering and then hit enter. So this time what will happen, you can see your guardrail input, my Aadhaar number is in Aadhaar. Now what will happen, it is replaced your Aadhaar number to in Aadhaar, so that you can pass this guardrails input to your AI agent so that you can hide users Aadhaar number or any personal information, right? So let me add an AI agent node and then connect it to guardrails node, and it will take by default guardrails input. You can clearly identify that my Aadhaar number has been sanitized and it replaced with in Aadhaar tag. So this is how you have to use sanitization text. Let's say in conclusion, what you can conclude, in this sanitization text, you cannot break your flow. You can only mask the text and send back to your AI agent. So same sanitization guardrails you can also use for AI agent output as well. Let's say your AI agent is connected to any database, right? And it has fetched Aadhaar numbers or credit card numbers of the user, and you don't want to send those sensitive information to the user. At that time you can use your sanitization text node so that it will identify your personal information and then send masked information to the user. So this is how you have to use guardrails in n8n. I hope this video will be helpful for you. These guardrails generally used in production systems, especially in medical related chatbots, because where they have to avoid so many things, so they can use input guardrails and as well as output guardrails, right? So if you like the content, please hit like button, share the video, comment something, and don't forget to subscribe. This